the Cape Cod Fighting Alliance, he is the beast from Hollywood East, Michael the Hammer Mulligan.
Hey folks, Michael the Hammer Mulligan here. Gonna do a couple of fireside chats today. First one is with Giuliano Coutinho, otherwise known as Banana. Giuliano is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu under Daniel Gracie. He teaches at our local school, Cape Cod Fighting Alliance. He's been teaching on the Cape and around for a lot of years. He's a great guy. You're gonna love him. Nice kid. Second guy is Chip Moraza Pollard. Chip is a local fighter. He holds a couple of belts right now. He's doing a really, really good job. He's moving up the ladder fast. Hoping to see him on TV pretty soon in you know, UFC, Bellator, something like that. But he's a really, really good kid. Very patient fighter, really nice kid. Stay tuned. I think you're going to like them both. Thanks. Hey, folks. Michael the Hammer Mulligan here. Welcome to another Fireside Chat. Today we got Giuliano Coutinho, otherwise known as Banana. What's up, Banana?
What's up, Hammer?
How you doing, brother?
Very good, man.
Good. Now, Giuliano I met probably, I think 6 years ago when CCFA opened the school and I started training with them. And we used to take the trek down to Hyannis and train with Giuliano. That was the ground game. It used to be down there, Giuliano School down there. Since then, he's moved up and is directly affiliated with CCFA and trains out of there, which is great. It makes it easy. It's kind of an all-in-one spot. Giuliano, kind of give the people a little description of your background, where you came from, all that kind of thing.
All right. Started out with Daniel Gracie down in Brazil in Vila Velha. That's my city. Started out when I was about 18 to 19, and then so glad that I started training with Daniel because, you know, all the basics that I got from him that lead me to where I am right now.
Did you two live in the same town?
Yeah, he was teaching up there for about, I would say, 4 years before he moved to São Paulo to, you know, take care of Ryan Gracie's school up in São Paulo. So I get the chance to train with him for about 4 years.
Nice.
You know, so that probably was, you know, the best 4 years that I ever had. And then he moved to São Paulo, and I kept training with somebody else, that was another Daniel's black belt, which is, his name is Marcio Laudier. And I trained with him for a little while, and then until I came over to United States.
Nice.
And I kept training with the guys, you know, from MSA up in Clinton.
What's MSA?
It's the guys from Keith Raquel, that George Rivera used to train up there too. A bunch of other guys like Matt Lee. You know, got the chance to train with Matt Brown. You know, all the top
Matt Lee,
guys.
where have I heard that name? That was the guy that just started. All right, so I did an interview with Robbie Roberts, the kid that beat Scotty Green.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
and he had lost like 10 fights in a row. Robbie Roberts, great kid.
Yeah.
He lost but he was training independent. He never had a trainer.
Yeah.
So he ended up getting Matt Lee as his trainer, and he's won 6 in a row since.
Yeah. So
awesome.
yeah, I got the chance to train with those guys when I came over here because, you know, I didn't have nobody around to train, you know, until Daniel actually moved to New York, and then I was making trips every, you know, 3 times a month, I would say, to try to train with Daniel up there still, you know, at Hansel Grace Academy.
Nice.
And, you know, I did a lot of competition in Brazil when I was there, you know, as a blue belt, you know, every weekend we used to go in some state to do some competitions. You know, I've been competing for a long time. You know, since I came over here as well, I did a lot of Naga tournaments, Arnold's Classic, Pan American. I think the last one was the Pan American in 2008. That's the last grappling tournament that I've done in America.
Now, when you say that you were training, what was it, MSA? MSA.
Yeah.
Did you do strictly Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with them, or was that also some MMA stuff?
That was a little bit mixed. Back then, I kind of didn't like to train the MMA still.
You still wanted to have your foundation, your base. I understand. Yeah.
I was built in my jiu-jitsu. I was a purple belt at the time, close to my brown.
Nice.
And then you know, I was still training a lot of no-gi, you know, with those guys up there. So I got the chance to learn a lot from them because that's all they used to do. And then I missed the gi for a little while, you know, I would say about a year and a half. And then until Cacao came back from Brazil, and then we started training together again.
Yeah.
You know. So.
He's a tough guy.
Oh.
He's amazing.
About it.
Oh my God. I remember that time it was like the first time I trained with Cacao, the second time or something. It was actually wasn't at your school, it was at CCFA. And I remember, and I'm training as MMA, I'm not training jiu-jitsu, but I just started the jiu-jitsu, you know, as a foundation, as you know, strictly that art. And I remember Cacao got me in an arm bar, and he's pulling my arm, and I'm standing up, he's down, and I picked him up, and I smashed him into the ground, and he just looks up and goes, "Buddy, this Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, not MMA, no smash."
Yeah, Cacao is a tough guy, man. I remember when I started doing Jiu-Jitsu, Cacao had about 4 months ahead of me.
Yeah.
So he was already on the mats, and then I got the chance, you know, to train with him every night. So every night he was making me tap, and then I used to go back home mad because he was a little guy that makes me tap.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
the bigger one.
Yeah.
So I couldn't, you know, I couldn't take that home. So we became best friends.
Nice.
You know, and then we
Yeah,
still
you
learning from
enjoyed
each
him.
other. Yeah. He beat me a lot, but now I can do it even with him now.
That's good. Well, you grow just like everything. You grow in the sport. You know, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now you got promoted to black belt when?
06, if I'm not wrong. It was November 2006.
Nice.
Yeah. So I got the black belt from Daniel.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting. You know,
Yeah.
it was a good, you know, outcome because we had a big seminar at the new place that I just recently opened up in Hyannis, the one that you mentioned it.
Yep.
And the
Going
one
by
that
the
you
big
used to
donut.
go, yep, right there. So we used to have good classes over there. You guys, I remember you, a bunch of other guys from Plymouth, they used to go up there and,
Sure.
and train every night. So we used to.
That was
good
fun. That was
crew.
the sweat box.
That was the best. That was the best time. I would say everybody was training serious. Everybody was competing a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and then after a few years, I think I had to close the school because I can't remember the reason right now, but I think we had moved the place, and then I became in a restaurant business.
Right,
So
well,
I had
that's
to stop teaching. for a
Exactly,
while.
and plus, I think it was once you became affiliated, once you started to teach at CCFA, I think it was the best move. Maybe not for you,
Yeah.
but for my son, for all the other
Yeah.
students, for everything
Yeah.
else, it's a great thing because again, it's nice when you can go to a school that has all the pieces of the puzzle
That's
right
it.
there to put together.
And we, for sure, at CCFA we got it all.
Yep.
You know, without the instructors that we have, I think it's the best.
Yeah,
The best connection.
There's
that
some
we
other
have.
great schools out there too, and you know what? This school is the best at what it does. There's some that are probably better in other areas and not as good as some. There's, you know, Michael and I had talked about the base of the 3 schools that are around here that are really good, and then you got the guys that are kind of, you know, I kind of put it like Zumba. You know what I mean? It's like they take it like it's a fad. They do it, you know what I mean? But they're really not producing any fighters that are doing any quality fight. You know, which is okay. I'm not knocking it. I think if you can get to any school and start at this, it's a great thing. It's you know, it's great for the kids. It's great for adults to get back into shape. You know, me, I was sitting on the couch doing nothing.
Yeah.
Now you and I, when I was training, I lost to Foley.
Yep.
And you and I spent a lot of time together because you helped me with my, you know, I'd be against the cage, he'd be taking me down. I'd go down to Hyannis, he had a school down there, and we trained together for that. And you were training for a fight. Now, you've only actually had one fight, and that one ended up being, you know, this is an MMA, not
MMA.
Right. And that ended up being a no contest because the ring was a skating ring.
Yeah, it was. That's right. I trained for, you know, I try to fight MMA. I only had one fight, which is a, you know, no contest.
Right.
They because the ring was kind of it was bad. I kind of slipped on my.
It was dusk. It was dusk. The dew had settled onto the ring. It had settled. It was at Campanelli Field in Brockton.
Yep.
CFX event. It was an experiment,
Open
and
event, yeah.
and just everybody that went. After a certain point, I think Lee Bean's fight was the last one that they called a a regular
I think
fight.
That's what it was.
Yeah, and after that, once the moisture had hit the field, it was ridiculous. It was a skate
I
rink up
couldn't
there.
even feel it really. You know, it looks like I had a rollerblades on my foot.
I know. I remember walking up to you before you were going to the ring too. Be careful, it's not
And then
that.
I was trying to get an MMA fight for a long time. I trained, before that happened, I trained like a couple times. I did it 2 camps, which is, every fighter knows that camp is the hottest.
It is.
Especially with the tough guys that you have, your training partners, like the Hammer.
I can't.
So yeah, man, I took the fight 3 weeks notice. I injured my left knee as I was training, but I kept stepping in the cage. I was gonna fight now May 21st, 11, but it never happened. The guy backed out. They couldn't find anybody else. So eventually, I'm gonna try to jump in and try to, do a fight. So as soon as possible. That's all.
So if there's any heavy, what do you weigh now?
250.
All right. So any heavyweights out there looking for a match?
Yeah.
Giuliano Coutinho's here.
Let's
now,
do this.
Tell me more about the training. Tell me how your game is implemented into the mixed martial arts game. Kind of give me a.
As everybody know, I got the ground game already, so I try to, get my stand up better.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm not thinking about your game. You got good stand up now. I'm thinking about how you teach the students how to implement the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu into the mixed martial arts. In other words, your contribution to that game.
Yeah, it's the ground game. Sometimes people they get for the MMA the transition that people try to get it for the MMA. It's kind of tough because you're getting punched to the face, and it's totally different game. So we try at CCFA. We try to come up with some good trainings like across me and Mike Lobo. He does the no gi classes towards the MMA, and then I kind of help him around a little bit. But what I've been doing over there, it's most likely the gi part, but I try to avoid most of the the damage towards the MMA, because you're getting punched in the face. You're not going to be doing the same things that usually we do, in the gi. You know what I'm saying? So I try to avoid a lot of the damages, and then I try to be explosive. Try to tell everyone to be the most explosive as you can be, because you don't want to get punched in the face all the time. You know what I mean? So.
And the thing is with Giuliano is. All of these arts, like I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'm a hack. I went in there, I took little pieces of everything, and I put it together, and I had my time, and I had fun, and I liked it. Yeah. But for people like my son and all the other kids and the students that go there, it's important for guys like Giuliano to give them the foundation, the beginning of the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, for Pat to do the beginning of the Muay Thai, to get them really, really comfortable with that individual art first, and then learn to blend them together afterwards. And Mike, I guess, I'm going to call Mike the blender. Mike will be the one, right? So,
like that.
Yeah, so Giuliano's the one that's going to teach him the strict Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu art. He's going to teach him that art. He's going to show him how to do it in the gi. He's going to teach him where it came from and everything else. Pat is going to teach him, in Mike too, but Pat is going to teach him the Muay Thai, and he's going to teach him how to do strictly that art. And then Mike and everybody kind of mixes it all together to become the mixed martial art.
I think for the, especially, at CCFA, I think Mike would be the guy to, especially on the ground. He's also a black belt on the, Daniel Gracie. And then, as we know, he's got the best ground MMA game.
Yep, Triangle City.
Triangle City, right? He's the best. So I think on that concept, Mike, he blends it all together really nice as far as, going to the ground with the strikes all together, and that's what we do down there.
Nice. So how do you feel now? You started to talk about before I interrupted you. How do you feel with your ground game? I mean, I'm sorry, with your stand-up now.
Oh, I've been working with those guys at CCFA for, I would say, a year now, you know, and then I stopped feeling very comfortable, you know, been training up at City of Tongue as well. That's the connection that we have, you know. I'm glad that, you know, we able to train with them and they train with us, and I feel, you know, my hands are way better, my foot movement way better, but I still, you know, I still love the ground game, but we try to, you know, throw that right combination on your foot, you know, 1-2, and I always go for the takedown. You know, but at least I got my hands to cover really well.
Well, you got to fake it this way to get that way. I mean, it's all the game. It's all the game. It's pieces of the puzzle. All right, folks. Again, Giuliano, Coutinho, Banana. One of the trainers at Cape Cod Fighting Alliance. He does the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Great guy. I love watching him. I love watching him teach because he's very patient and he works well with the students. Great all-around guy. And if you want to see him, that's where you go. Cape Cod Fighting Alliance. And I hope to see you in the ring soon.
Soon. Very soon. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. It's been a long time. So
nice. Well, Giuliano, thank you very much. This is Michael, the Hammer Mulligan, thanking you for coming to another Fireside Chat.
28 for your winner, Jim.
Hey folks, Michael, the Hammer Mulligan here for another Fireside Chat. Today we have Chip Moraza Pollard, aka the Surgeon.
Yeah, baby.
What's up, Chip?
What's up, man?
Chip's a local guy. You went to school at Plymouth?
Yep, Plymouth North High School.
Plymouth North.
Yep, Plymouth North. Yep.
Yeah. Did you play any sports over there?
I played basketball. I did track one season.
Nice.
My senior year I did football, but mainly it was basketball.
Nice. Yeah. I always see you down at the basketball court in front of down there. It was playing. Nice. When I saw you start to train, when I first saw you, to me you had, I always call him the most patient man in the sport because I watch him train and he's very, very, very patient guy in the ring. But where did you start? You must have done something before because that didn't start there.
Yeah, I started training karate when I was like 7 years old.
Yep.
And even back then, competing in tournaments, you have your whole bracket of guys that's in your division that you're going to go against, and I used to just sit there and watch all the other matches first, and I would see what their tendencies were, and I would, like, even as a little kid, I would see, like, what these guys do, and then when I came in there, I knew what to expect, and I just took them all out. It was points fighting back then,
but it's still
same thing gives you that.
So you were like playing chess, basically.
Pretty much, and that's my karate teacher back then. He's the one that gave me the nickname the Surgeon. So.
No, who's that?
Dave McConnell.
Dave, sure. Iron Fist, right?
No, he was the one that trained Tony Silva from way back.
All right, so
he was Dragon
Dragon Horse, that's what it was.
Yeah.
I used to work at Rich's department stores where Staples is now. I used to work there when I was a little kid. I think I was 16. I'd go there before school, and Dave was the security guy. He worked there forever.
Still security guy now over at, I believe, Shaw's.
Yeah, nice. Great guy, great guy.
Yeah.
He's ageless, too.
Yeah,
he doesn't look
he is.
But he's another big part of the sport around here. A lot of the kids that come up are from him or from Tony or whatever.
Yeah,
Shaney, I got pictures of him at like 7, 6 years old with Tony. He didn't spend long, but it's still stuck.
Oh, yeah.
He was a great guy. So what else did you get out of Dave?
He's pretty much the one that built it up. He built my foundation. That place wasn't really like... He used to call some other places like playgrounds where the parents would just drop off their kids and let them run around and everything. It was pretty strict in there. It was traditional karate, so that's where I kind of got my hard-working, like, just mentality and just no messing around in the gym. Just come in and keep your mouth shut, just do what you need to do and just train.
And we talked about that earlier. Giuliano and I had talked about that before we did our thing, and that's what he said. He says that you just come in, you do your thing, you know, sweaty cop, and you're out the door. You're very respectful, very nice. That's a great thing. You hold 2 belts. For who?
First one was CFX. I was there only welterweight champ.
Yep.
And this new one I just won a couple weeks ago was down in Atlantic City for a Cage Fury Fighting Championships. CFFC.
Yeah,
it's a long one.
There's so many of them out there.
So yeah, those are the 2 belts right now.
Who, I forgot the kid. What was his name? Joe, was it? Who was the kid?
Yeah, Joey Rivera.
He was nasty.
Oh yeah, he was real good. He was at the time he was 7-0. I believe he only had 1 fight go out of the first round. All his other fights he ended in the first round, 5 by submission. So he was no joke.
Yeah, I love watching it. I watched it a few times, and it's just listening, you know, knowing that Chip's the local guy, the local kid, watching him grow, watching him train, and to hear the people on TV, you know, on this video talk about Chip, talk about, you know, how he is putting on a clinic. It was just a great feeling. That was nice. That was really nice.
Yeah.
What's next? I mean, you look like you're going to be heading up to the big show pretty soon here.
Hey, soon enough. I take 1 fight at a time. Whatever happens, happens. Say it goes back to training. I figure if you go in there, just work hard, then good things will end up happening. Like that fight happened on 11 days' notice, and there we go. Just went down there, just training hard already, so I was already good to go. Just had to cut a little weight, and then just ended up going well. So
nice.
Whatever happens, happens. Take 1 at a time.
If you have one thing that you think that you need to do more of, or perfect more than the other, which is your, I don't want to say weak spot because you really don't, but what would be that weak spot?
I want to keep on working on everything, even my striking, which is my strong point. I feel that can get a lot better. Maybe not better, but, well, yeah, better, but being more comfortable in the cage, just doing what I do in the gym. Goes same with the ground game. My ground game in the gym, I'm rolling with really good guys. Gresh, who's a black belt. Giuliano, who's a black belt. Eder is a purple belt. Rebello, he's an awesome wrestler.
He's unbelievable wrestler.
And it's I'm rolling with all these guys, and we're going pretty good. So in the cage, I just want to start showing off some of the tricks I have up my sleeve for down on the ground that people don't know yet, and just show them it's not just about the punching and the kicks and all that. I have more than just Muay Thai in my bag.
Yep.
So
a good thing about you, Chip, that I see is that a lot of these guys will go to CCFA, they'll go to another school, and I don't want to call it stagnant or bored. I'm not sure exactly what the word is, but they think that they can get more somewhere else or something. You don't seem to feel that way. I mean, it's like I know as well as you do that all the tools necessary to become a great fighter are in that room.
yeah.
I mean, with the people, it's there, but you don't seem like you get like that.
Yeah, some guys, like, even at the top level, like George St. Pierre, he goes to Canada, he goes to Arizona, all these different places for all his different training. Me personally, like you said, I have all the tools at CCFA, and then we're obviously affiliated with City Tong, so you can go up there, and between those 2 places, I don't think you can get too much better.
Right.
It's like you have pretty much everything we need.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. I mean, that's great because for me, for Shaney to be training with people like you with your patience and your skill level is awesome. I hate to see people leave. I hate to see people not stick around and you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think it's a great thing. What else you got?
They're probably going to want me to defend this title.
Now, this is who, CFX?
Well, CFFC.
CFFC,
Yeah,
okay.
the one in Atlantic City. So, we'll see what they have for me for that. Anything else pops up before then, I let Pat Schultz take care of all that stuff. I don't really worry about it. I just come in and train, and just whoever he tells me I'm fighting, I'll go in and fight him and just put on a show.
Nice.
So, whatever.
Awesome. Well, listen, it was great to have you here. I hope you the best in the future. I hope you make it to the big show soon.
Yeah.
Hey folks, Michael Hammer Mulligan here, posing a Fireside technical question. If our automobile industry became so advanced somewhere in the future where you had a choice, if there was some sort of control device, I don't know, lever, handle, whatever, that you could use that would literally cut traffic in half. It would make it so easy to drive. Traffic would be cut in half. People would actually almost be able to read your mind. They'd be able to know what you were going to do ahead of time. So it would make it easier. People would be able to drive with you know, a lot safer. This device would probably save lives. You know, it would keep it so that we knew what the other person was going to do, and therefore we would not get into accidents. Traffic would be cut in half. It would just be a beautiful thing. My question to you is would you actually use this device if it was that far advanced that it would help save lives? Would you use this device? No, you wouldn't. How do I know this? How does Michael the Hammer know that you wouldn't do this? Because it's here. It's called a blinker. It's on the side of your steering wheel column. If you're driving down the road and there's another car coming towards you, he doesn't know what you're doing, but if you actually put that little blinker on, that guy's going to know what you're doing, and he'll be able to drive accordingly. If you come to the end of a road and you're going to go right, you're going to go left, if you just flip this simple little lever, the guy behind you, the guy in front, everybody's going to know what's going on. It's going to save lives. It's amazing. It's a beautiful thing. They devised it, I don't know, 100, 200 years ago, whatever it was. But they also devised Dunkin' Donuts coffee and other kinds of coffee too. So what inevitably happens is that when someone's driving a 40,000 pound SUV with a Dunkin' Donuts coffee in one hand, cell phone in the other hand, and trying to drive, the blinker just is not an option anymore. So we're throwing the blinker right out the window. We're not using that anymore. Today it's coffee and cell phone and texting or whatever. Next invention they came up with, of course, was the cup holder. So you could actually come and put your cup in this little holder so that you could actually use the blinker and maybe even the phone at the same time if you need to, a text, we'll say, what's for dinner, honey, whatever, I know it's important stuff. Saving lives doesn't matter anymore, so we'll just go ahead and keep drinking the coffee, using the cell phone, and forget about the blinker. And as for that guy, that guy that when you're driving to, let's call it Cedarville like I do every day, and I'm going south on Route 3A, and I'm coming up to the Cedarville, to the Dunkin' Donuts and the Tedeschi's on the opposite side of the road. At least 4 out of 5 times a week, that guy will be coming the other direction that knows he should probably put his blinker on, but he doesn't want to do it because if he does put it on, then I'm going to know which way he's going, and I'm going to get in line at Dunkies before him. So screw the other 8 people behind me waiting to keep going down 3A. He's going to wait until the very last second, flip it on just to show that he gave it an effort. Some guys, I might not be this guy, but if I was that guy that was waiting in the other lane, I might pull him beside him right up so tight that he couldn't open his door or something. I wouldn't do that, though. I'm not that type of guy. But anyways, folks, the blinker. It's an amazing invention. It's been with us for a while. Let's try to start using it around town, please. Make us life a little easier for all of us. Thank you very much. Coming to another Fireside Chat with Michael and Mulligan.